Hello, sorry everybody, sorry. I just realized that my sound was off all the time. So we'll move forward. I move forward to our next screen. So if you didn't get exactly what I was saying on this one, then I meant this was a sell, especially if price could come back to this level here, this very trend line at the top. If price can fail to bounce from this level, instead it comes up to this trend line, then that will be the correct place to look for a sell from. So ideally, the best is to wait for a sell here, because we had this as support, there's a break, it came back as a resistance, it continued down, it came back as a resistance, continued down, and if price can come back to the same place, then that will mean we're looking for a sell. So as it is now, this is still a sell. In my opinion, we're still looking for a sell, but only if price comes back to this level here. So as I mentioned from the beginning, I said that if you are that person who trades gold and your trades run overnight, then you can now trade swap free. Swap is the amount of commission you are charged for holding trades overnight. You can now hold metals overnight without being charged anything. If you're trading gold, silver, or anything like that, you can now hold your trades overnight without being charged anything. So we have this pair here, this symbol. What's happening is that the price massively continued to the lower side, and we are somehow around this level here, the zone where we wanted to buy from. This is a very good place. Therefore, if price does not clearly descend below the lower line 2938.6, then that will still be a good place to look for a buy from. So I'm not saying you're supposed to buy now, rather you need to wait for price to enter into this zone, somewhere in between this zone here. Then you pick a buy from that point. Expect price to come back to somewhere in between this zone here. So I've actually minimized it so that you're able to see exactly the spot where we're waiting to buy from. If the current candle can come down up to this point here, then that will be the correct place to look for a buy from. So I'm not saying it's not a buy now, it's still a buy. It's still, there are chances we could see price continue to the upper side, but the best is when price comes back down to the level which I've made, the thin line which I've drawn at the very bottom, the one which I've just made now, this one. We'll move to Brent oil. So Brent oil continues to make lower lows. The price is continuing to the lower side. We have this, a very good trend line, and then we also have one from the top. So when price bounced off from the upper one, we actually looked for a sell. So we want price to, following what happened here, there's a move down. There's a move that's unfolding. We expect price is continuing downwards up to that point. We want it to continue upwards like that. Then there should be a retracement before it continues even higher up to the next level. This is exactly what I said yesterday, that price needs to go back down up to the lower trend line, but the correct place to buy from is not there, but it's here. The same way, if price goes below the lower trend line, then that will confirm that you are continuing downwards. If price breaks below, we'll wait for price to retrace back, then we pick a sell towards the next level, which is here. So we'll move forward to our next symbol, and that should be gold. Yeah, as I mentioned at the beginning, that gold is actually heading upwards based on what we saw last month. Gold is continuing to the upper side, and just look at this. This is what we expected to happen. We wanted price to do like this, to come back up to this level here. These are the zones where we are waiting for price from. Then we had this, As you can see, the exact opposite has happened. Instead of price bouncing off from the upper line, which is here, the price has gone and even closed above. So what this means is somehow we are still to the upper side. We still expect price to continue to the upper side. As long as the price remains above 1528.28, 1524.38, we expect price to proceed up to the next level, which is this one here. So expect price to proceed upwards, let price continue to the upper side, and should go straight up to this level here, this resistance. So thank you guys, thank you everybody. That should bring us to the end of today's market overview. And as I mentioned at the beginning, if you are trading gold, you can now trade gold swap free. There are no commission for holding trades overnight. Swap is the amount of money that you are charged for holding trades overnight. So such an expense is not there from 11th of, so as we are speaking now, you can hold your trades overnight up to 11th of October. So thank you very much. See you again tomorrow at the same time. Bye.